Sadguru Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasade Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 3. Does anyone remember what we read yesterday? Anything that struck anyone?
Hare Krishna. Yeah,
Hare Krishna.
actually, we read that um, the Gajendra is surrendered to Krishna, and he's praying that please release me from this bondage and help me, and that shows that his humility, and that how humble of a devotee he is. He's not asking for any material, but at the last reservoir was only Krishna. He just surrendered, and it is not easy to approach Krishna, but then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us the way to approach Krishna by chanting, by hearing chanting sankirtan movement, and we can understand Krishna by only engaging in devotional service, only hearing about him, and then gradually we being attached to Krishna, and then devotional service is joyfully performed. It has to be joyfully performed. So yes, we, and then Gajendra was also telling us about like how about Krishna, that Lord Krishna, that everything emanates from him. He has so many different potencies, and like he's the cause of all the causes, and like how from the sun the sparks come, but from the fire, but then it again it goes back to there in the fire. So like in the same way, everything emanates from him and then it goes back into him, and about his potencies, and then Paramatma, like how he's established as a Paramatma in each and everyone's heart, in each and every atom also, and in all of us. And yeah, so, and majorly the devotional service. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. So going on, text 25. Jiji Vishenaham Ihamo Yakim Antar Bahischyavrate Bhayonya Ichhami Kale Nayasya Viplavas Tasyatmaloka Varanasya Moksham. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. I do not wish to live anymore after I am released from the attack of the crocodile. What is the use of an elephant's body covered externally and internally by ignorance? I simply desire eternal liberation from the covering of ignorance. That covering is not destroyed by the influence of time. In this material world, every living entity is covered by the darkness of ignorance. Therefore, the Vedas enjoin that one should approach the Supreme Lord through the spiritual master, who is described and offered prayers in the Gautamiya Tantra as follows. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master, who with the torchlight of knowledge has opened my eyes, which were blinded by the darkness of ignorance. So a few days ago, we were speaking about the spiritual master, about the Guru. So the Guru is one who opens our eyes, gives us transcendental knowledge. We are full of ignorance. Our ignorance, we are thinking we are the body, we are thinking separate from Krishna. So a spiritual master is one who gives us this transcendental knowledge, opens our eyes. Although one may struggle for existence in this material world, to live forever is impossible. One must understand, however, that the struggle for existence is due to ignorance, for otherwise the living being is an eternal part of the Supreme Lord. There is no need to live as an elephant or man, American or Indian. One should desire only to achieve liberation from the cycle of birth and death. Because of ignorance, we consider every life offered by nature to be happy and pleasing. But in the degraded life within this material world, from the life of Lord Brahma to that of an ant, no one can actually be happy. We are making so many plans to live happily, but there cannot be any happiness in this material world. However, we may try to make a permanent settlement in this life or that. So Gajendra now he's saying, I don't want to live anymore. What's the use of living in ignorance? After I get released from the crocodile, I don't want to be here. If somehow we also can get that desire to go back home, back to Godhead, to give up our ignorance, to come to get this transcendental knowledge. We are thinking we can be happy in this material world, or we are thinking others are so happy. We see especially with social media now, it's become more. We may see so many pictures of people, having very happy photos. But what happens before the picture and what happens after the picture? That is one moment that is captured, and people think that somebody's life is like that 24 hours a day. It's actually very misleading, and it's creating a lot of dissension among people, more envy like this, because people are thinking, oh, how come somebody else is enjoying so much? But the reality is, this is just one moment that is captured. Nobody sees what this person was going through the day before the photo being taken, or even few hours before the photo being taken, and what is this person going through after the photo is being taken. Actually, this material world is full of suffering, and the only happiness we can find is in devotional service. We are trying to find happiness in the material world. We are trying to find happiness in a place where it doesn't exist. It's like trying to find water in a desert. If we are going to search in the desert, what are we going to find? Only sand, because that's what is there in the desert. We cannot find water in a desert. We have to go to the reservoir of water to find water. That's where we will find water. So if we at all want happiness, we need to come to Krishna consciousness, because Krishna is the reservoir of all pleasure. Any comments? Questions? Okay. Soham Vishwasrajam Vishwam
Soham Vishwam
Om
Srajam Vishwam
Vishwasrajam Vishwam
Avishvam Vishwavedasam
Vishwam Vishwam
Avishwam
Vedasam
Vishwavedasam
Vishvatmanam Ajam Brahma
Vishwatmanam Ajam
Vishwamanam
Brahma
Ajam Brahma
Pranatosmi Parampadam.
Pranatosmi
Pranato
Padam Padam.
Parampadam.
Now, fully desiring release from material life, I offer my respectful obeisances unto that Supreme Person who is the creator of the universe, who is himself the form of the universe, and who is nonetheless transcendental to this cosmic manifestation. He is the supreme knower of everything in this world, the super soul of the universe. He is the unborn, supremely situated Lord. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Sometimes, when Bhakti Yoga, Krishna consciousness is preached to the common man, people argue, where is Krishna? Where is God? Can you show him to us? In this verse, the answer is given that if we are sufficiently intelligent, we must know that there is someone who has created the entire cosmic manifestation, who has supplied and who has become the ingredients for this cosmic manifestation, who is eternally existing, but who is not within the cosmic manifestation. Simply on the basis of this suggestion, one can offer respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord. This is the beginning of devotional life. So, just like we see a painting, immediately we ask, who made it? We know it didn't just come out of thin air. Oh, we see a nice dish, some nice food to eat. We'll ask, who made it? So when we see something, we immediately ask, we know there is some person behind it. Similarly, when we see this universe, then the sign of intelligence is to ask, who has created this universe? For sure, we didn't create it. That is for sure. So then who is the creator? Prabhupada is saying like that. And that is a sign of intelligence. This is what Gajendra is saying. And then once we can understand the position of the Supreme Lord, that how great He is, how He's created this material world, which is working so automatically. You know, we are breathing out carbon dioxide, the plants are taking in this carbon dioxide, giving us oxygen. It's just so automatic. The sun is evaporating the water from the ocean, it becomes clouds, then these clouds are coming and pouring rain, fresh water to us. So it takes a little bit of intelligence to understand that there is a creator. Yoga Randita Karmano.
Yoga
Yogarandita
Karmano,
karmano
Riddhi Yoga Vibhavate.
Riddhi
riddhi
Yoga Vibhavite,
bhavate
Yogino Yam Prapashyanti.
Yogino Yam
yogino yam
Prapashyanti,
prapashyanti
Yogesham Tam Natosmi Aham.
Yogesh Samtam
yogisam
Natosmi
natosmi
Aham.
aham.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme, the Super Soul, the Master of all mystic yoga, who is seen in the core of the heart by perfect mystics when they are completely purified and freed from the reactions of fruitive activity by practicing bhakti yoga. The king of the elephants, Gajendra, simply accepted that there must be someone who has created this cosmic manifestation and has supplied its ingredients. This should be admitted by everyone, even the most determined atheist. So Gajendra doesn't know like who is God, like we know Krishna is God. But Gajendra understands that there is God, there is a supreme person, one who is behind this cosmic manifestation, one who's created this entire material world. Why then do the non-devotees and atheists do not admit this? The reason is that they are polluted by the reactions of their fruitive activities. One must be freed from all the dirt accumulated within the heart due to fruitive activities performed one after another. One must wash off this dirt by practicing bhakti yoga, cheto darpana marjanam. The process given to us in this age of Kali is chanting the Hare Krishna mantra to clean our heart of the dust which is there, to clean the contamination. One must wash off this dirt. Yoga Randita Karmana. As long as one is covered by material natures, modes of ignorance and passion, there is no possibility of understanding the Supreme Lord because our intelligence is so covered by modes of passion and ignorance, and we are not able to understand. Oh, there is a creator, just like there is a creator of this painting or a creator of this dish or creator of the laptop. So there is a creator behind this entire material world. Tada rajastamo bhava kama lobhadayaschaye. When one is freed from the modes of ignorance and passion, one becomes free from the lowest qualities, calm and lobha, lust and greed. So we need to regularly hear and chant so that we can be free from this modes of ignorance and mode of passion. Then we can understand the Supreme Lord. Nowadays, there are so many yoga schools to encourage people in developing their lusty desires and greed through the practice of yoga. People are therefore very much fond of so called yoga practice. The actual practice of yoga, however, is described here. As authoritatively stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 12, Chapter 13, Text 1, Dhyana Vastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha. A yogi is one who always meditates on the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, who is a yogi? Bhagavatam is saying, one who has fixed his mind on the lotus feet of the Lord, who's always meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord, means he's kept Krishna in the center of his life. Not that he's just sitting, closing his eyes, and meditating. No, he's doing all kind of activities for the pleasure of Krishna, keeping Krishna in the center. This is also confirmed in the Brahma Samhita 5.38. Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadeva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundaram Achintya Gunaswarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tam Aham Bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is Sham Sundar, Krishna himself, with inconceivable, innumerable attributes, whom the pure devotees see in their heart of hearts with the eye of devotion tinged with the salve of love. So Lord Brahma is also saying that the devotees, they're always thinking of Krishna. They're seeing Krishna in their heart because they have love for Krishna. That's why they're able to see Krishna everywhere. And they're able to see Krishna in their heart. They've captured Krishna in their heart by their love. Krishna cannot be captured by anything, you know, by how much ever knowledge we have, or any other beauty, or strength. One may say, I'm very strong, I will capture Krishna. No, Krishna can be captured only by love, by devotion. The Bhakti Yogi constantly sees Shyam Sundar, beautiful Lord Krishna, with his blackish bodily hue. Because the king of elephants, Gajendra, thought himself an ordinary animal, he thought himself unfit to see the Lord. In his humility, he thought that he could not practice yoga. In other words, how can those who are like animals in the bodily concept of life and who have no purity of consciousness practice yoga? In the present day, people who have no control over their senses, who have no understanding of philosophy, and who do not follow religious principles or rules and regulations, are nonetheless pretending to be yogis. This is the greatest anomaly in the practice of mystic yoga. So we have to understand, what does yoga actually mean. Yoga means to link to the Supreme. And the best yogi is the bhakti yogi, the devotee. Namo
Hare Krishna,
namastubhyam
Shilpa ji.
as. Ha,
Hare Krishna, Shilpa ji. So
yeah, Hare
this
Krishna.
this point here I really like, that sometimes we think we keep on remembering Krishna, serve Krishna, but we are not doing it in a proper way. No matter it, like sometimes we think that this person is, he thinks or I think that I'm doing so much and I cannot see Krishna, but that is that only when we purify. It's written so clearly. When our
I'm
ignorance,
sorry I didn't get there. I'm sorry I didn't.
actually,
Mm,
sometimes some people
mm,
think that why is it that I cannot get the mercy of Krishna or I cannot see? But then for that, you need the purification, right?
I guess. Yeah,
Right? Here
that's
they have
right.
written this point, and this is really nice point,
Mm, yes, thank you.
right? क्योंकि इसका कारण ये है
Yes,
कि अपने सकाम कर्मों के फलों से दूषित रहते हैं,
yeah,
because we have so many other desires. Because of that, we are doing all this.
yeah, that's right.
So until we just love him purely without any desire or ulterior motives, then and then we want to see him, but then that's not possible.
Yeah. But also will come into, we can also consider ye yatamam prapadyante tam
Prapadyante,
stateva
yeah.
bhajamyam.
Okay,
To the
yes.
degree we
Surrender.
engage in devotional service, to the
Hmm.
degree we surrender to Krishna, to that degree Krishna reveals himself.
Hmm. But then
We can
Sakam
also
Karm is
consider
not
that.
Sakam
Huh?
Karm is not the devotional service, right? Or is it?
Also,
Sometimes,
of course, Sakam, there are
sometimes, right?
Nasakam Bhakta also. Yes, yes.
Hmm.
Yes, the devotees, there are so many
Hmm.
devotees who will be Sakam also. They'll have material
Hmm.
desires, but they're devotees of Krishna.
Okay, because they still come to Krishna only, they go nowhere else. So
Yeah,
yes, they will be devoted
only
to
come to
Krishna.
Krishna. Yeah, yeah. We can
Hmm.
see in the case of the demigods, they are
Yes.
very good, very powerful devotees of Krishna, very qualified personalities, but they have some material desire there.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, like how we had uh, read in Bhagavatam, right? There are the three stages of spiritual advancement, right? So then, like we have to establish the relationship with God,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then
Yeah,
engage in devotional service, avideya. And then, of course, the last, then that's what the goal has to be, right? Prayojana, love for Krishna,
yeah,
love of Krishna, right?
yes, yeah,
So pure devotees means it's like, yeah, prayojana, they already, right, reached that stage.
yeah. They revive their love. They have love for Krishna. Yeah, yeah,
That should be our ultimate goal, right? Yeah,
yeah.
this love for Krishna.
Pure devotee has love for Krishna. Hmm. Okay. Namo namastubhyam asaya vega
Namo
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 Namaste.
Vyamasaya Vega
shakti trayaya khiladi gunaya
Shakti Trayaya
Shaktiya
Kiladi
Khilati.
Gunaya
prapanna palaya duranta shaktaye
Prapanna Palaya
Prabhupada
Duranta Shaktaye
kad indriyanam anavapya vartmane.
Kad
Kad
Indriyanam
Indriyanam
Anavapya
Anavapya
Vartmani.
Vartmani.
My Lord, you are the controller of formidable strength in three kinds of energy. You appear as the reservoir of all sense pleasure and the protector of the surrendered souls. You possess unlimited energy, but you are unapproachable by those who are unable to control their senses. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you again and again. Yeah, Gajendra is saying, you're the controller of the three kinds of energy. Okay, attachment, greed, and lust are three formidable forces that prevent one from concentrating upon the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Attachment, greed, and lust. This is what is said. Lust, our desires, material desires, when they are fulfilled, we get more greedy, we get attached to more and more to the material world. These forces act because the Supreme Lord does not like to be realized by non devotees and atheists. However, when one surrenders unto the lotus feet of the Lord, these impediments are withdrawn and one can realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we can see then that the devotee is helped by Krishna. The devotee is not alone, he is helped by Krishna. Therefore, the Lord is the protector of the surrendered soul. One cannot become a devotee unless one surrenders unto the Lord's lotus feet. Then the Lord gives one the intelligence from within by which one can return home back to Godhead. So in the other processes, the process of karma, gyan or dhyan, the yogi is depending on his own strength, his own determination, his own mind and sense control. But the devotee, because he surrenders to Krishna, he is helped by Krishna. Krishna helps him to get out of the material world. Nayam, ah, Nayam Veda Swam Atmanam
Nayam Veda Swam Atmanam
Yachakyaham Dhiya Hatam
Yatshaktayaham Dhiya Hatam
Tam Duratyaya Mahatmyam
Tam
Tam
Duratyaya
Duratyaya
Mahatmyam
Mahatmayam Yam
Bhagavantam Itosmi Aham.
Bhagavantam
Bhagavatam
Itismi
Itos
Aham.
Aham.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by whose illusory energy the Jiva, who is part and parcel of God, forgets his real identity because of the bodily concept of life. I take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose glories are difficult to understand. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, every living entity, regardless of whether he be human, demigod, animal, bird, bee, or whatever, is part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord and the living entity are intimately related like father and son. Unfortunately, because of material contact, the living entity forgets this and wants to enjoy the material world independently according to his own plan. This illusion Maya is very difficult to surmount. Maya covers the living entity because of his willingness to forget the Supreme Personality of Godhead and make his own plan to enjoy this material world. So Maya captures us because we want to forget Krishna. We want to enjoy separate from Krishna. We want to pretend that we are independent of Krishna. And because of this, Maya is able to cover us. So, as long as this contamination continues, the conditioned soul will be unable to understand his real identity and will perpetually continue under illusion, life after life. What is the illusion? Hmm?
The illusion
What
is that
is?
you think that you are the body. I'm the body.
Yes, that's right. You're thinking I'm the body. Ato graha kshetra sutapa vitir janasya moho yam aham mameti. Bhagavatam 5, Canto 5, Chapter 5, Text 8. As long as the living entity is not enlightened so that he may understand his real position, he will be attracted to materialistic life, to house, country, or field, to society, sons, family, community, bank balance, and so on. Covered by all this, he will continue to think, I am this body, and everything related to this body is mine. This is our ignorance. This materialistic conception of life is extremely difficult to surmount, but one who surrenders to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as did Gajendra, the king of the elephants, comes to enlightenment on the Brahman platform. Brahmabhuta prasannatma na shochati na kankshati samasarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labate param. One who is transcendentally situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed toward all living entities. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, text 54. Since a devotee is completely on the Brahman platform, he is not jealous of any other living entity. Sama sarveshu bhuteshu. So one who surrenders unto Krishna immediately comes to the spiritual platform. Immediately the ignorance is gone. He can understand, I'm not the body, I'm part and parcel of Krishna. And because he's on the spiritual platform, then he has no more material desires. So there is no lamentation, there is no hankering, and he can see everyone equally as part and parcel of Krishna. And then the natural activity he engages in, pure devotional service. Pure devotional service is the eternal activity of the soul. It's the natural activity of the soul. Is that okay? Any comments, questions? Okay.
The three modes of nature is Maya, right?
Yes.
Can we say that? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Maya is controlling us with the three modes of nature.
With the three, right? So we can say that the three modes of nature is actually Maya that's
Yeah.
controlling us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can say that. Yeah. That's how we are controlled. That's how she's controlling us like puppets by these three modes.
And earlier you said, na, like ye yatha mam prapadyanti. So according, right? As we surrender,
Yeah. Yeah. As we
Krishna becomes.
surrender. That's right. The more we surrender to Krishna, the more our ignorance will go away, the more we will have knowledge, the more we will be fearless, the more we will be happy. Yeah. Okay. Shishukuvacha
Shri Shuka Uvacha
evam Gajendra upavarnita nirvishesham
Evam Gajendram Upavarnita Nirvishesham
brahmadayo vidhalinga vidhabhimanaha
Brahmadayo Vividha Linga Vidabhimanaha
naite yadopasrapur nikhilatmakatvat
Neti Yadopasashripur Nikhilatmakatvat
tatra khilamaramayo harir avirasit.
Tatra Khilamaramayo Hari Avirasit.
Sri Sukadev Goswami continued, when the king of the elephants was describing the supreme authority, without mentioning any particular person, he did not invoke the demigods headed by Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Indra, and Chandra. Thus, none of them approached him. However, because Lord Hari is the super soul, Purushottam, the supreme personality of Godhead, he appeared before Gajendra. From the description of Gajendra, he apparently was aiming at the supreme authority, although he did not know who the supreme authority is. He conjectured, there is a supreme authority who is above everything. Under the circumstances, the Lord's various expansions, such as Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Chandra, and Indra, all thought, Gajendra is not asking our help. He is asking the help of the Supreme, who is above all of us. So Gajendra didn't know who is God, but he knew that God exists, the Supreme Controller exists, and he is praying directly to the Supreme Controller. He is not praying to any of the demigods because he understood that we are all energy of Krishna, we are all part and parcel of God, and that there is one Supreme God who is the ultimate Supreme Controller. So that's why the demigods also didn't come. They're saying, well, he's praying to God, so God will come. As Gajendra has described, the Supreme Lord has various parts and parcels, including the demigods, human beings, and animals, all covered by separate forms. Although the demigods are in charge of maintaining different aspects of the universe, Gajendra thought they were unable to rescue him. Harim vina neva mritim taranti. No one can rescue anyone from the dangers of birth, death, old age, and disease. So Gajendra knew. He knew that no matter how powerful a demigod is, demigod cannot bring me liberation now. He cannot give me freedom from birth, death, old age, and disease. Only the Supreme Lord can. It is only the Supreme Personality of Godhead who can rescue one from the dangers of material existence. Therefore, an intelligent person, to get free from this dangerous existence, approaches the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not any demigod. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 7.20, Kamesthester Hrita Jnana Prapadyante Devataha. Those who are unintelligent approach the various demigods for temporary material benefits. Actually, however, these demigods cannot rescue the living entity from the dangers of material existence. So, why the demigods cannot rescue us from this material world? They are powerful rulers, they are very, very powerful, they are so very highly qualified. So, but why Gajendra is not praying to them?
Because even they depend, right, on God for
Yes, that's
everything.
right. They are also depending on God for everything. They are also under the clutches of material nature. Yeah, they are also inside the material world. So they also have a material body. They also are
Part
controlled by the
parcel.
modes. They also have to go through birth, death, old age, disease. I'm sorry, you were saying something?
Yeah, yeah. They are also part and parcel, no, of
Yeah,
God. So they are controlled, yeah,
yeah.
by the Lord.
That's right. So, like other living entities, the demigods are merely external parts of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's transcendental body. As stated in the Vedic mantra, Sa Atma Angani Anya Devataha. Within the body is the Atma, the soul, whereas the various parts of the body, like the hands and legs, are external. Similarly, the Atma of the entire cosmic manifestation is Narayan, Lord Vishnu, and all the demigods, human beings, and other living entities are parts of his body. So just like we have a body, we the soul are inside this body, then we have hands, legs, everything. So this looking at this universe, the soul of the universe is Narayan. Paramatma has entered this universe. That's why this universe is appears alive. So and then all the parts, we are the human beings are there, the demigods are there, the different species are there. Okay, let's see. So, okay, let's see how long we can read it. It may also be concluded that since a tree lives on the strength of its root, and when the root is nourished with water, all the parts of the tree are nourished. One should worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the original root of everything. Although the Supreme Personality of Godhead is very difficult to approach, He is very near to us. How? Because He lives within our hearts. As soon as the Lord understands that one is seeking His favor by fully surrendering, naturally He immediately takes action. Therefore, although the demigods did not come to the aid of Gajendra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead immediately appeared before him because of his fervent prayer. This does not mean that the demigods were angry with Gajendra, for actually, when Lord Vishnu is worshipped, all the other demigods are also worshipped. Yasmin tushte jagat tushtam. If the Supreme Personality of Godhead is satisfied, everyone is satisfied. So one may think, oh, the demigods were upset or angry at Gajendra. No, the demigods are happy that Gajendra is worshipping Lord Vishnu. When we worship Lord Vishnu, everyone will be pleased. Yatha taror mula nishechanena tripyanti tatskanda bhujo pashakha pranopahara cha yatendriyanam tatheva sarvaharanam achyutejya. As pouring water on the root of a tree energizes the trunk, branches, twigs, and everything else, and as supplying food to the stomach enlivens the senses and limbs of the body, so simply worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead through devotional service automatically satisfied the demigods who are parts of that Supreme Personality. Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 31, Text 14. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead is worshipped, all the demigods are satisfied. Is that okay?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
there's nothing to
we'll
fear when the demigods are upset if we don't worship. I mean, we are worshipping the Supreme Lord Himself. The demigods also are satisfied.
yes, they are
Right.
in fact more satisfied when we
Satisfied,
worship.
yeah.
Yeah, they are more satisfied when we worship the Supreme Lord because they are also worshiping Him. They are also His devotees. They also want to see Him glorified.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they are more satisfied. And that's the reason the demigods help the devotees in so many ways. Yeah. They help the devotee to engage more and more in devotional service because
Hare
they're
Krishna,
satisfied
Shilpa
with the
ji.
devotee. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Shilpa ji. But yeah, this is absolutely right what we are saying, and we know that. But like in olden times, I remember watching a movie, Santoshi Ma, because there used to be those kind of movies where if that uh, female who was praying to Santoshi Ma and she had to face so much
Yeah.
trouble. So like the life was not easy for. I'm just because I know this, right? I know because we have read and we get to know. But I'm just
Mm.
remembering that instance that how we used to watch in those movies that so was it that the demigod Santoshima was not happy or was it that she was happy but then it's her karma or something like that.
But then we have to see this was just a movie, right?
But then actually Shilpaji also in the books there are books and the stories that we read that she was so angry on that female and then her husband didn't come for maybe 20 years or something and then she faced so much trouble she lived like you know like nobody was there to take care of her and she lived like a beggar and then after some time uh, when she did again her fasting and everything and then he came and so like I'm just trying to understand that what what was that connection was
So
it that her own karma.
Santoshima will also be satisfied when Krishna is satisfied. You know.
Okay, yeah,
Also,
absolutely.
yeah, also I remember hearing a talk by a devotee, and the
Hmm.
devotee was saying that we don't come across Santoshima anywhere where we're reading in the scriptures.
Oh, okay, okay,
You
okay,
know, we're seeing, of course,
okay.
Durga Devi, she has so many of her expansions,
Yes, yes,
right?
absolutely.
We see Durga
Yeah,
Devi, her
yes,
expansions, but
yes.
we don't hear about Santoshima. But
Okay.
okay, that's one way. And another way
Yeah,
is
perfect.
that Santoshima will also be satisfied once Krishna is satisfied.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, because it just came
Yeah.
to my mind that there was that time that we have seen a few. So, like, what was it?
Yeah, so we have to actually try to understand is this coming, is it Vedic? Is it coming from the scriptures?
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
You know, because
Okay.
sometimes something may be a tradition, but
Hmm,
it may not necessarily be from the scriptures. That's why the Krishna was asking Nanda Baba that, you know, where in the scriptures it's mentioned that you have to do Indra Puja? Is it just
hmm.
you're doing it because it's a family tradition? Please tell me, where is it mentioned? Are you just doing it because, you know, the family has been doing it traditionally? what
Okay.
is the
Yes.
reason? Yeah.
Got it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Got it.
same thing came in my mind too about Indrana. That
Yeah, yeah.
he didn't know, yeah, he didn't know that that small boy actually is the Supreme Lord, right? And then later the realization came. Correct?
Yeah,
But then I
that's
think
right.
it's really important to understand that just pray to Krishna, like how we see that all the we just water the root of the tree. We understand this completely, and actually, when some people come and they ask, then we can at least tell them now if we know. If we don't ask the question, then we don't get clarified, and we are still in the same circle, and we don't
Yeah,
understand what actually
it's
it is.
true. Yeah, it's true. That's why we need to ask questions.
Yes,
It's true,
yes.
so that our
So that's
doubts can be
why,
clarified.
yeah, yeah. And at least when somebody comes, and at least we can help somebody. Like I got helped now. My doubt is cleared, and I can help the other person now.
Yeah,
At
Hare
least,
because
Krishna.
all demigods are part and parcel of Krishna. So when we satisfy Krishna, all demigods are automatically satisfied. Yes, Hare Krishna. Hare
Yeah,
Krishna, Ratna.
yeah. Like just now you said, like all demigods are also part and parcels of Krishna. Like, but Krishna created them all, like us, right? But
That's right.
he also provided the departments. Like in company, we say like account
Yes.
section or HRA or something like that. So demigods have also their departments, right? Which is allocated by
That's
Krishna
right.
to them, right?
That's right.
So if
Yes.
somebody wants Sakti, then they pray to Durga Devi individually. Like
Mm-hmm.
if it is urgency of Sakti, like long time ago,
Mm-hmm.
then warrior, then Rajputana, they fought with some their enemies. So they need
Mm-hmm.
really Sakti, right? So they
Mm-hmm.
do the uh, what we say like arms in their uh, like अपने इसमें वो करते थे ना कि वो तलवार और ढाल वो सबका पूजा करते थे दे डू द वर्शिप विद देयर आर्म्स
Mm. Okay.
शक्ति की पूजा करते थे तो दैट इज आल्सो प्रोवाइडेड बाय कृष्णा टू द दुर्गा देवी द शक्ति सो
Yes.
इफ वी प्रे टू दुर्गा देवी फॉर शक्ति then Krishna
Mm-hmm.
will not be like angry also, right? Like vice versa. If like you said, like if we pray to Krishna, no other demigods will be angry. So if we pray
Mm-hmm.
to demigods, it's true. Like
Mm-hmm.
if we pray Krishna, all demigods will already have like offered the same
Mm-hmm.
bhakti. But if it is vice versa, like we pray to Ganesha for Sukh Samriddhi, if we pray to Durga Devi for Shakti, if we pray to like Shiva,
Mm-hmm.
so we say ना लेकिन शिव जी बहुत जल्दी प्रसन्न हो जाते हैं देर वही if you pour one like water bag to him he pleased very soon तो बहुत लोग कहते हैं
Mm-hmm.
ना और वो उनकी पूजा में मतलब उतना ये नहीं है क्या
Mm-hmm.
बोलते हैं उसको so many rituals, not so many rituals or so many things to do. You can just pour
Mm-hmm.
water upon him and he will please. And whatever you want, he will bless you. तो
Mm-hmm.
अगर हम शंकर भगवान का पूजा करते हैं तो कृष्णा जी भी तो गुस्सा नहीं होंगे ना he will not become angry, right?
No, he will not.
He
He
will
will
not.
not.
तो
Krishna, he
हाँ
says in the Bhagavad Gita that I see the faith, somebody has faith in a particular demigod, I make
हम्म
that faith stronger.
वही
अगर
वही मैं
कृष्णा
पूछना
देखते
चाह रही थी
हैं कृष्णा
हाँ
देखते
हाँ
हैं कि किसको आसक्ति है एक पर्टिकुलर डेमिगॉड के लिए तो
हाँ
कृष्णा ही वो जो फेथ है उसको स्ट्रांग बनाते हैं
हाँ
वो
यस
डेमिगॉड के लिए
तो मतलब वही है
पर
कि ये स्पेसिफिक हो जाता है ओनली फॉर वन लाइक सेंट्रलाइज विथ वन थिंग, राइट? तो यहाँ पे जन्म मरण वाला जो डेथ बर्थ एंड डेथ का जो साइकिल से हमको मुक्ति चाहिए वो नहीं मिलता है यू विल कम अगेन टू द मटेरियल वर्ल्ड, राइट? अगर हम
दैट्स
डेमी
राइट
गॉड्स का पूजा करते हैं तो
दैट्स राइट
राइट
दैट्स राइट
ओके बट यहाँ पे ये
हमें
नहीं है कि हाँ भगवान गुस्सा हो जाएंगे कृष्णा जी गुस्सा हो जाएंगे या ऐसा
नहीं
फिर तुमको नहीं है
नहीं
ना ये क्योंकि मन
नहीं
में डर होता
कृष्णा
है ना
नहीं नहीं कृष्णा गुस्सा नहीं हो गए पर क्या है देखो कि जब भी हम डेमिगॉड की पूजा करते हैं तो कभी कभी वो डेमिगॉड खुद हमसे गुस्सा हो जाते हैं अगर
Oh.
उनकी पूजा बरोबर नहीं हुई है तो। बहुत बहुत इंस्टेंसेस में है, जैसे काली दुर्गा देवी, वो अपने खुद के भक्त से बहुत अपसेट हो गई, उनके भक्तों को मार दिया। जो जैसे जर भरत का स्टोरी है, जर भरत को वो बलि देने वाले थे देवी के लिए, देवी को प्रसन्न करने के लिए। ये सब जो डकैत थे वो देवी के भक्त थे, वो देवी की प्रशंसा के लिए उनको जर भरत की बलि चढ़ा रहे थे। पर देवी बहुत गुस्सा हो गई कि ये जर भरत, ये तो प्योर डिवोटी है, उसको कैसे तुम लगा रहे हो हाथ। और देवी खुद प्रकट हुई और उसके खुद के भक्त को मार दिए। तो ये होता है कि डेमिगॉड भी हमेशा कृष्ण के भक्त को प्रोटेक्ट करते हैं। तो लॉर्ड शिवा भी है, जो कृष्णा बुक में भी स्टोरी है कि द किंग ऑफ काशी वाज आल्सो देयर, लॉर्ड शिवा's devotee, but
शिल्पा
Lord
जी
Shiva was
सॉरी,
not able
यू
to
कैन,
protect him. हाँ हाँ हाँ,
रावण
I'm
को भी
sorry,
शिव जी
your
प्रोटेक्ट
voice
नहीं
is
कर पाए थे
breaking.
राम से। या यू
हाँ,
एक्चुअली आप
yeah,
रावण की भी बात बता सकते हैं, क्योंकि तो
रावण,
हमारा
yeah,
एग्जाम्पल लाइव रहेगा ये सबसे।
yeah. तो रावण भी शिव जी के भक्त थे, पर शिव जी भी उनको नहीं प्रोटेक्ट कर सके। तो क्या है कि डेमिगॉड्स भी कृष्णा के भक्त को प्रोटेक्ट करते हैं, क्योंकि वो खुद भी भक्त है कृष्णा के, और उनको चाहिए कि सब कृष्णा के भक्त हो जाए। तो वो कृष्णा के भक्त को अपने खुद के भक्त से ज्यादा प्रोटेक्ट करते हैं। ठीक है। हाँ रत्ना।
हाँ ठीक है, एक्चुअली वो मशीन चल रहा था
हम्म,
इसलिए मैंने म्यूट कर रखा है। साउंड विल
ओके
कम।
ओके, नहीं नहीं,
या
ओके।
हाँ मैं सुन रही हूँ।
तो
या इट्स
so
ट्रू,
it's
इट्स
over,
ट्रू।
it's clear, na? So we have to
हाँ
see.
हाँ।
That's why when one becomes a devotee of Krishna, he pleases everyone. Even the demigods are very pleased by him. That the demigods want to protect him. They want to help him to also engage in more and more in devotional service. They want to also do whatever they can for him. But as for their own devotees, the demigods are not so happy with their own devotees actually, because they know they just want to still remain here in the material world, still asking material things. It's more like a business. You give me this, I give you this. You do this for me, I will give you this. So that's why the demigods also have special favor for the Krishna Bhakt. Yeah. So we'll stop here
या
for today.
या हरे कृष्णा,
Okay.
थैंक यू।
Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you all so